This video is going to go over what is the best left and right wing builds when it comes to FIFA 23 Pro Clubs. This is going to be a starter build using only 20 points, so anyone can build these players up. If you do enjoy this style of content, don't forget to subscribe, as we will be making more content once we've leveled these out max, and then telling you what the best perfect builds are later on down the line. Let's get straight into this. So first things first is the actual player build and player profile, and like I said, you want to choose either right wing or left wing. It doesn't really matter, it's going to basically be about the same more or less anyway. You want to be about 5'7", 5'8", maybe even 5'9". Again, you just want to be able to be sturdy on the ball, not really lose your balance, and there's not really any way of us increasing physical at the moment. So just make sure you're around about that. Now, in terms of weight, I would put it down a bit to around about 120. And the reason why is because you want to be able to move around very smoothly. This is going to be one of the hardest positions in the game to play. And I know that from playing a lot of Ultimate Team now. Playing on the wings is kind of hard to then cut inside now. It's very, very difficult to do that. You need to make sure your dribbling is on point to be able to do this. So like I said, just make sure you've got the weight down a bit so you can move a little bit more fluidly. Now personally, I would choose the outside foot as being your main foot for this. The reason why is because if you're cutting inside and you do have distance shooter equipped, then you should be okay for shots, but you want to be able to also cross the ball as well, which is going to be very, very powerful in this game, because it's kind of difficult to, like I said, cut inside now. When it comes to perks, obviously, you do want to use that distance shooter perk, especially for beginners. It's the only one that's actually viable. And it also gives you the finesse shot trait and a 5-star weak foot. So if you are cutting onto your left foot, you can still take the shot anyway. So that's why, like I said before, you want to make sure your preferred foot is your outside foot. So if you're right wing, it's going to be right foot, left wing, left foot, so on and so forth, obviously. I mean, there's not any more foots you can be anyway, but like I said, that is the best way to build it. Now, when it comes to the actual skill tree, which is what you're seeing on screen just now, you don't want to put anything in physical. I would personally put a little bit here if we had the skill points, but we don't, unfortunately. And again, I would like to put something in stamina, but again, we don't really have those skill points. Defending, we don't really need too much of anyway. There's defenders, there's fullbacks, there's everything else there in place to do that, but we don't really need defending. This is where most of our skill points are going to be spent, in my opinion. So you want to have agility, so you want to be able to change directions very quickly. Like I said, you need to be fluid as hell on the ball, especially on those wings, to basically get past the defenders, get past the fullbacks. It's a difficult position to play in FIFA 23, in my opinion. That's why dribbling's up to 88, or if you want to see the first two dribbling kind of attributes, agility is going to help for changing directions, and then balance is going to help keep you on the ball, which is going to be absolutely amazing. So I don't think you really need any more balance than this. So even though you can get the level 2 on the original balance, you don't really need it, in my opinion. But again, for now, this will have to do. Passing, we kind of have to do it without passing and crossing. That's why I made the main foot the outside foot, so we can still cross relatively well. But we kind of have to do without passing just now, because we're going to be mainly crossing, mainly cutting inside, and mainly just short passing, which is actually not too bad. It's 81, which is behind the camera, unfortunately, but it's still not too bad. Shooting here, you do want to increase that shot power for those power shots, so when you do get close to goal, you are able to do those power shots, which is really, really important. And then finishing as well, I've put 1 on finishing. I would like to put a little bit more on finishing, which we will do in future builds, but for the meantime, we'll just put 1 on finishing just to make sure we are hitting our shots on target. And then of course you do need a bit of pace, a bit of acceleration, and a bit of sprint speed. Personally, obviously you'd like to have this as high as possible on a winger, but again, we only have a certain amount of skill points here to play with, and making sure these two are balanced on a winger is very important. So there we have it. Those are the best left and right wing builds. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.